guys, it's your boy Corey.
It's your boy John.
And welcome back to the Artistry Drop, where we feature stories from today's rising artists.
Yes, sir.
If you like being inspired, don't miss out on our weekly episodes, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification to be notified when we drop new episodes.
Come on now.
Guys, as you can tell, we are into the first week of December.
Yes.
Christmas is coming very soon. Super excited. Any plans for Christmas this year?
Man, I'm going back home. We gotta go back home.
We gotta go back home to
every single
Seattle.
year,
I mean, that
know?
is the thing that we've been doing since we moved out here. Always got to go back home to Seattle, visit the family. That's pretty much the only time I ever go back home.
Yeah.
I've only been
true.
back home once this year, which was
shit. I've been back home like 3 times.
Yeah, you have. So you've been lucky.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to go back home, visit the fam, and eat a lot of food and just vibe out at there, because I feel like. Also, another thing is, every time we've been back home in Seattle, things were still closed.
Yeah, it was.
So now a lot of things are open up.
Yeah,
Mizu. We got to go back to Mizu.
Mizu.
So, definitely excited. And I know you guys have heard our Mizu stories quite a few times. So, definitely excited. But, guys, we do have a guest today. Our guest today is a singer, songwriter, dancer, and martial artist who has worked with talented creatives in the industry, including Shaka Khan's guitarist, Ricky Rouse, Janet Jackson's choreographer, the late Michael Andrews. Originally from San Francisco Bay Area and now based here in LA, guys, please welcome Angelo Vivo.
Let's go. Come on.
Welcome, Angelo.
Welcome.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, thank you for being here. And Merry
Yeah.
Christmas to you.
Yes,
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas.
Yes,
and
of
congrats
course.
on this podcast.
Hey, thank you.
thank
Yeah,
you.
a year.
Yeah.
We're a year in. It's crazy. And I just
long way.
Yeah, we've come a long way. We've come from a super budget setup and super bootleg, a lot of issues we had encountered to now something like I feel like it's awesome.
Yeah.
This is legit. This is like a whole
Thank you.
production.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank
of
you.
course it is in our apartment, but I mean, hey, nobody knows that. Like,
Exactly.
to the camera,
You
never
never
know.
know.
They know that. They know that.
Don't
because we
expose
met-
the secret.
Yeah, they already know. They
Yeah, I
already
know.
know.
We
but
mentioned it so many
we
times,
mentioned it so
yeah.
many times, but it's crazy the fact that when we bring a guest on here, they literally think we have a studio, and we're like, no, it's actually just in our apartment. We had couches here, we had a little nightstand and stuff all up here, and converted it into the podcast area.
So this is what it is full time now.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty much,
of course, we still have our actual full-time jobs. Congrats to him too.
Thank you.
He's been working at a new company.
Nice.
Videographer.
Videographer, content creator. I've been working in the medical field for 7 years now.
Wow.
So moving down to LA, it's always been one of my goals to do videography and content creating full time. So now I'm finally into that realm, and I finally left the
it's big ups to him, because he's
Thank
definitely been into medical field for a long time. I went to film school back home in Seattle, graduated back in 2019. So now I'm out here in the LA working in the film industry for the Academy, the Oscars, and I love it out here. So I'm glad to finally see him pursuing something that we've worked hard for out in Seattle and out here. But we are trying to make this a full-time gig.
I know, right?
Obviously. I
Right.
feel like any kind of content creation, you definitely strive to make it a full-time gig. But of course, you still gotta have that kind of full-time job as well on the side.
Gotta pay the bills,
things,
Right.
You gotta pay the bills.
But I enjoy my job. I know he enjoys his.
Yes, sir.
We're out here, and like I said, Artistry Drop has been doing really great for over the last year. I mean, it's still been
struggle. We've been doing trial and error, just like with anything, but we already knew going into it, podcasts take at least 2 or 3 years.
The niche is a little bit different. It's not like something like TikTok where you can create a 10-second video and go viral. With a podcast, we're talking for minutes and hours. So it's it's hard to create reels that are less than 10 seconds. So it definitely is hard to grow with a podcast, but I think we've been doing a great job. We've had some awesome guests, including you here now, thank you again for coming on the show. We're gonna dive into getting into your story, learning a little bit more about you, but before we do got to get into the drink of the day.
All right, the drink of the day is the classic Blue Hawaiian,
My
inspired
favorite.
by his favorite at
Yes.
Mizu's. We used to always go to Mizu's. If you guys don't know,
Back
it's
home
a
in Seattle.
Japanese steakhouse that we always go to, and that's where the Blue Hawaiian started. But this is the Blue Hawaiian on steroids. Yeah, because I added so many different mixtures into it. I put vodka. I put Jamaican rum.
We done tonight.
We
done tonight.
Malibu, you know, and then sweet and sour mix along with pineapple juice, and honestly, that's about it.
Hey.
So
we're gonna be lit tonight. So,
yeah, we are.
Well, we got Angelo a nice water right there. It's a bougie water.
It's a bougie water.
It's a
for
bougie
sure.
water.
With lemon.
Bougie water.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with
Hold
the
on.
water. Is that?
Hold on. This coaster is bougie too.
You like that?
Thank you. Thank you
like
for
that?
that.
Yeah. I'm glad when you pulled it up, it didn't come up.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We stuck it down.
You're good. All right, we're gonna do a cheers.
Okay.
Yeah, cheers.
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 Thank you.
Yes.
Of course.
To a good podcast.
That is pretty strong.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you. That is strong.
You didn't get colds this year. You got alcohol.
Hey, I like it though. That is really good.
There you go.
But did you put a lot of pineapple or sweet and sour in there? Because it does cover the alcohol.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why. So
I'm getting better.
it's gonna creep up on us later, probably. So
I'm telling
we're
you.
gonna see. But
Yeah.
okay, let's dive in and get to know Angelo a little bit more.
Yes, sir.
So we did mention earlier that you are originally from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
What actually made you move out here to LA?
Oh man, music. Music.
It's
dance.
big out here. This is where you gotta be.
Yes. Ever since I loved LA. And there's just something about LA, the atmosphere here.
Yeah.
It just feels like anything amazing can happen at any moment.
That is true. That's
And
facts.
there's so many creatives here,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And
true.
it's just so many people who are living out their dreams and just
Right.
like
Yeah.
really doing their passions and
Yeah.
are actually living and living that fulfilled life. So I love the atmosphere here. And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the weather.
Yeah, of
the
course.
weather, yeah.
I mean, how
Weather.
is the weather up in San Francisco? Because I visited
Yeah.
San Francisco like a couple times,
Same.
just
Yeah.
for vacation. That's when we were living in Seattle already,
Right.
So how is it actually compared to here?
Okay, so I'm from the East Bay.
Okay.
A little town called Hercules. So it's like 30 minutes outside of San Francisco.
Okay.
So, but the weather there is a bit more chilly.
Okay.
It is a
Okay.
bit more chilly. So I definitely like the hot, the humid
Yeah.
weather.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's
yeah.
just like us,
Yeah.
we're from Seattle and
Yeah.
it just rains and it's cold all the time. Like, I mean, during the winter time when we go back home during Christmas, like this year, it's like, it's around 30 degrees, 30, it's crazy, but I love that weather. I miss that weather so much because I feel like we've been in LA for about 3 years now. And it's like when you've adapted to a certain temperature, like back home in Seattle, it's like, that's the weather you're used to.
Yeah.
So getting used to the heat out here took a while.
Yeah.
So, being out here in 80, 90 degrees almost every day, it's like, damn, this is too much,
Yeah.
And so, but I've adapted quite a bit. I still miss the cold weather, and that's why I always look forward to going back home during this time of the year,
Yeah.
just because it's super cold.
Yeah.
It's like sweater weather, jacket weather.
I miss
and-
that.
Yeah, I miss that.
it.
Like I said,
Yeah.
and it's just one of those times where you're like, movie night, like have your fireplace on, cuddle up,
Right.
watch a movie, and stuff. Those are the vibes,
Yeah.
and that's what I miss most.
No, that's
about,
what
like,
I miss.
being home.
That's what I miss the most too. It definitely was a really big shock for me too, especially as an introverted person who likes to stay home all the time, who likes to be bundled up. Jackets. We had to switch all our clothing because all our jackets. We
have
had
so many jackets,
thick
sweaters.
clothing,
Yeah.
And I didn't really when I go outside, I didn't really think about fitness because I was always bundled up. It wasn't really a thing. But then now that we're out here, it's always hot. We're revealing more of our body. I'm really into fitness now, so it's definitely like a whole 360. But I honestly love it now.
Yeah.
It took a while, but I love it here, and you don't really realize how much energy the sun gives you until you are actually here.
That's true.
Because back home in Seattle, we only have 1 month of sun, which is in August.
Yeah.
Other than that, like of course when it gets to spring into summer, we have some more sunny weather, but it's also always partially sunny, and we get rain mixed in between. So it's not like full summer until like August hits.
Okay.
And then after August passes, September it's already cold right now over there, and so like really having that full summer like almost all year round over here is totally different.
Yeah. And so moving down here is exactly the same reason, we have the same exact reasons why we moved down here to LA was to pursue what we're trying to work hard for.
Yeah.
Like music, us filmmaking, and videography and stuff like that. So like I said, this LA is just so diverse. Like it's like a melting pot.
Yeah,
like
it is.
you've said before, it's a melting pot with so many different creatives here, and it's just awesome meeting everybody in different kind of industries, you know, like knowing artists in different, and Artistry Drop has helped us like really create relationships with everybody in every kind of artistry, just because, you know, we bring on everybody, you know, and like whether we do have some cooks, like some chefs coming on the show very soon. It's going to be our first one. So, you know, people in that artistry, we've brought on so many musicians, but that's why we're friends with so many musicians. And that's why we film so many music videos is because we have so many musician friends. And then, you know, we got dancers and, you know, stuff like that. So that's why I said, you know, it's really cool being in LA because it's such a big melting pot with every kind of artistry that you would want, and you can pretty much just go to anybody and they have some kind of artistry revolving around it, you know. And that's one of the main reasons we also moved out here to LA, and it's been a vibe the last 3 years, and you know, I'm definitely looking forward as well to growing here, and I'm sure you are as well. So,
for sure. Yeah, you know, we dove in a little bit about the weather, but like I kind of wanted to know like how the culture shock has been moving from the Bay versus LA. Like how was that
crazy
towards you? What's the difference?
You know what? I feel like there's a lot of similarities, but the art scene out here, the creative scene, the music scene, the dance scene out here is just so alive.
I feel that too.
And it's just always something to do. I feel like I was born and raised in the Bay Area, and I just feel like I know that I've taken a lot of it for granted. But moving out of the Bay Area into LA, you just see so many things to do, and just, especially with music and dance. So having so many dance studios around, and being connected with other songwriters and all that, it's so cool to have a community down here. So that was really nice to be introduced to when I moved here to LA.
Like even when we first moved here, you're like, when you move from a different place to really pursue what you want to do to LA, like you meet all these people from different places, and you could tell how passionate they're about their art. So having that like similarity and that drive like really fuels your energy too, you know. And you know, one thing that I've noticed too, you know, we've met a lot of people. I really gravitate with people from the Bay because it reminds me of people from Seattle. Really like down to earth people. You know, when you meet people from LA, and you know, it's very rare you meet people who are born and raised in LA. But you know, it's very like small talk, or oh, what do you do for work? You know, all this stuff. But when you meet people from the Bay, people from Seattle, you know, we get a little deeper at times. And
we're almost all the same.
Honestly, and honestly, I connect with people, you know, from the Bay because it reminds me of home. Do you feel the same? Like
you know what, I do feel the same, and I feel like I was so homesick when I moved to LA. Y'all, when I moved to LA, I was real quick to look at flights going back home, and I was like, did I make the right choice? I miss my family already. Like, how am I gonna do this? And moving here, it really pushed me to like literally be out every night, and not out like in the club or whatever, but like out grinding, going to classes, training in hip hop, doing volunteer work, and just like being out every night because I couldn't be home. I felt too homesick, and I just felt too lonely.
No, for sure,
so I pushed myself out of my comfort zone, and like I had to learn how to do the small talk. I had to learn how to introduce myself and like be confident.
You have to be an introvert out here, or extrovert. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like LA is just one of those places where you literally have to connect with everybody. Like anybody that you meet is gonna know somebody else.
You gotta put yourself out there.
You gotta put yourself out here when you live in LA. And if you don't, like if you're coming to LA and you're just expecting things to come to you, it's not. You literally have to be the type to be like, even though you are like John, like he's introverted, but he's definitely progressed quite a bit to the extroverted side. Like for me, I've always been extroverted, so it's always kind of been easy for me to talk to people and, you know, make communication and long talk with people. But no matter what, even with him being an introvert, it's helped him a lot become an extrovert. You know, so like I said, just in general, LA is just one of these places where you have to communicate with people because it's not gonna do it on its own. Like you literally have to go out and do the work. You come out here for a reason to, you know, grow your artistry and stuff like that. So of course you still got to invest that time, that hard work into growing yourself in your artistry. And like I said, you know, it it does take time. And would you consider yourself more extroverted or introverted?
Ooh, introverted for sure.
Yeah.
But I'd say it depends on the situation and
same,
the
same.
people, right?
Yeah, me too.
Like
Yeah, me
if
too.
I'm around a certain group of friends or whatever, I'll be loud.
Yeah,
I'll be loud. I'll be funny
Facts,
and
yes.
crazy.
Yes.
But then I could be real quiet.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Like in my thoughts.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you know, one thing that I feel like, because like I said, I've always been extroverted, but another thing that's helped me is me and my girlfriend Rachel. You know, we live stream at like theme parks. You know, aside from we do so much shit. You know, we got the artistry drop,
Enchanted Explorers.
We got the Enchanted Explorers where me and my girlfriend just go to theme parks all the time and live stream.
so
and
cool.
yeah, you know, so it's like it's just one of those things where I used to be crazy embarrassed about like kind of vlogging in front of people, even though I'm extroverted. It's still kind of weird going out in public and like having a camera pointed to you and stuff like that. But the more you do it, the more you get used to it. So it's like now, you know, we've been streaming for like few months already, pointing the camera at us, walking through theme parks. You get used to it.
Yeah.
Don't block out all the people that are looking at you. Just focus on what you're trying to do, because people, like I said, people are going to have thoughts about like, oh, what is he doing? Those are people that don't live here in LA or anything.
Yeah.
Anybody that sees you here in LA, they already know what's popping.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, you already know it, you know. So it's like I said, it's no matter what, when you move to LA, you do have to invest time, invest the work into communication with other people around here. You know? And
in order to reach to the next level.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, you know, that's another reason I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You know, for doing it. Just knowing he's super introverted, you know, before we even moved down here and stuff like that. And would you say moving to LA has kind of made you more of an extrovert?
I'd say so. Yeah. I mean,
how long has it been?
Okay, so I moved to LA for the first time in 2018, and then I moved back to the Bay in 2020, and then I moved back to LA December of last year. So I've been back and forth, but yeah, my time here, especially when I first moved here, like I said, I was just like pushing myself to become more extroverted.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it really has helped.
Yeah,
it takes a lot.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, it definitely. I feel like that's why you do need to take time from LA, because it drains you.
Yeah, it does.
You know, even though I wish I can go back home like more often and visit the family and everything, it's like I only see work here. Like that's all I know is like just grinding it out and working. And even though I do want to go back home, it's like I know I got to stay here and, you know, work, but it's mentally like draining.
No, it is.
Like
and
is
it's
draining.
already draining for you as an extrovert.
Yeah.
Imagine how much draining it is for us as an introvert. We have to put in twice as much energy as they do.
Yeah.
And, you know, by the time we go back home, we're just like...
It's like, all right, no one talked to me.
How long would you say, like, I mean, knowing you guys are both like more introverted, like, how long would you say you would need to like
recuperate?
Yeah, recuperate everything and, you know, stay back if you had the choice. If you had the choice. I mean, like I said, you know, like some of us of course have full-time jobs that we need to get back to, and we only have a certain amount of vacations that we're able to use. But what would you say is like, how long would you stay back home to recuperate before you come back to LA?
Ooh, don't ask me because
he won't come back.
literally, when I first moved to LA and went back home, which was usually like once a month, I would stay. I would use an excuse to stay like a little longer. But now I am finding myself being more like, no, I need to be in LA. I need to get back to LA. So my time back at home is a little bit shorter now, especially knowing that the holidays are coming up and I'm going to be home more often. So I try to like tell myself that, like, okay, spend time in LA as much as you miss home, as much as it is exhausting at times being an extrovert. You got to do the work. Like you said.
No, like I said, it like LA is just one of those places. It will drain you mentally, and
for sure,
all of us experience it. You know, we're all in it together pretty much, and like I said, that's why it's great seeing the whole artist community kind of support each other, because we're all going through it. We all know exactly how it is.
The struggle.
We all know the struggle, you know, and like I said, that's why I love being friends with other artists, because we all know what we're all going through. You
that's
know?
what the podcast is about too.
Exactly. That's what the artistry drop is all about. You know, that's why we only bring on majority of artists, because we all know just how it is, you know, in real life. Like some people don't know the behind the scenes on how much work all of us have to actually put in just to succeed into our artistry.
They only see the success that we post on social media.
That's it, you know, and like I said, that's why I'm glad a lot of artists, of course, you know, we're in LA, but there are those people where they're, you know, they're gonna kind of, you know, put you down a little bit and, you know, stuff like that. It's just what it is. You know, you're in a place where everybody's trying to reach that success. And if it means kind of beating you out and, you know, gaining success for themselves, they'll do it. But I'm always happy to see when other artists are supporting each other.
They're real.
They're real, you know, the real ones for real, you know, and like just supporting each other. I love seeing that because that's what I'm about. Like that's the reason why we brought created Artistry Drop is because we love hearing the stories of all artists on how they got to, you know, a certain point on their success and stuff like that. And I wouldn't even say none of us are successful because we're always grinding no matter what. Like we have all reached some kind of success as far as like our dream, our goal. Like, you know, like one of my dreams and goals was moving down here to LA from another state. That's, you know, that's
to people huge, back home, they already think we're successful because we moved here. But to us, we're like, we're just started.
Yeah, we just started, you know? So, but like I said, in general, I just love seeing other artists collaborate and grind and work it out together because it just shows like the true artists in you.
Yeah.
Outside of the ones that are kind of like the fake ones. We know some of those.
That's another podcast.
That's another podcast. But
for a different time.
I'm just saying, hey, that is fact. So, you know, so moving on though, you are an all-around artist from like singing and songwriting and dancing. Like at what point did you decide to get into singing? And did you go to school for music?
Oh man. Let me see. Okay, so growing up, I did a lot of karaoke. Surprise.
Okay, yeah.
Filipino. You know, you already know.
Of course.
So did a lot of karaoke growing up, and then I want to say that I was like, all right, I really want to do this. Yeah. When I first saw Chris Brown's Run It video. When that video dropped, I was like, now hold on. You can sing and dance and get the girls. That was like the you know the first thought. I was like, okay, I want to do that. And then at that time, like my high school did this like Hercules Idol thing, a playoff of American Idol, and I think that was the first time where I like really sang in public. I sang Save Room by John Legend and got some like positive feedback from that. I was like, okay, this is cool.
Tough song to sing too.
One question though, because you know, knowing the Bay Area, it is the population is a lot of Filipinos. You know, was your school morely population Filipinos?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's just say Hercules is probably right behind Daly City in like the majority of the people there are Filipino. So yes, there was a lot of Filipinos.
Same in Seattle.
Same in Seattle. Same in Seattle. You know, and like I said, the thing is, when Filipinos, of course, you know, I'm half Filipino, so I already know this. When Filipinos know you are Filipino, they are gonna support you no matter what. No matter what. So I'm assuming this is where it's continuing on, kind of. So
then from there, I did vocal training. Shout out to Music Rep, and just did that for about 8 years, I think. And then hip hop, like. I watched so many YouTube videos. So coming to LA, I was like, yes, I get to actually train in these studios in person. So just been doing that, and just been singing.
No, that's how it is. And you've been killing it though. You know,
you have been.
So you know, I had seen one of your YouTube videos. You posted on your channel. Like I had to creep through your YouTube channel, of course, to kind of grab some information. But one of the YouTube's your first YouTube videos was almost 9 years ago, and it was the Christmas melody one. Is that pretty much? Would you say that video was one of the videos that's kicked off like your YouTube posting and everything?
Which one was that? Was I wearing a scarf?
I think so. The person was playing like the guitar.
That is so funny. I don't know if that was the start, but I do know that even my guitarist, she was like, people stop me because of that music video and talk about it. But
it's iconic.
It was fun.
You're known over there then.
I loved singing that video and collaborating with that guitarist. Shout out to Debbie. She and I still keep in touch today. So
that's awesome.
That
so you wouldn't. So you would say like. That wouldn't be the video that kind of jump started like your I don't want to say YouTube career, but like where it jump started your YouTube channel into you posting more videos.
You know what? Probably because I remember Debbie and I used to like film videos and post pretty often, and I think that was probably one of the ones that got traction. So
was that here in LA or was that?
That was in the Bay.
That was in the Bay still. Okay, would you I mean, you're not the type to like archive your videos, or because we have talked to other people where they kind of like, you know, they'll archive some of their YouTube videos and stuff. Yeah. Was that archived, or you just keep going?
That one was not. Did I archive that? I don't even know. I haven't even looked at my YouTube channel.
No, that one is still there.
Okay,
but
so
like, you haven't like archived other videos previously.
Okay, so I have archived a few videos.
So you started your YouTube channel still quite a long time ago, then.
I would say so. So I dropped a music video for an original song, and it was my first original song that I dropped, and it's called Shine On. And I think I did archive that one because when I looked at the video, I was like, what is going on? And then even when I listened back to it on Spotify, it's on Spotify, and I'm like, dang, y'all didn't tell me that like these harmonies weren't tight or like were off. But listening back to it, I laugh at myself, and it's awesome to see that growth. And I love it. I don't want to take it down. Facts. Like I'm just gonna keep it there so that people, like including myself, can hear the progression.
Facts.
I think everyone has some archive videos. You know, I'm a dancer as well, and I used to. I started off dancing, you know, to Jabberwocky covers and all that shit. So I archived all of that. But then when I look back, I'm like, damn, that's so cringe. But it does, like, you know, like you were saying, like that progression and looking back at it, you know, does like amaze you of how far you've come.
No, and see, that's one thing I definitely regret for myself, is because, you know, I've been on YouTube since about 2008, 2009. You know, I started creating YouTube videos with my friends and stuff like that, and then I ended up starting my personal YouTube channel. That's one thing I wish I would have done, is actually like archived instead of delete. I deleted my old videos. Shit. I deleted them. So it's like I can't even go back and look at my progression. But I already remember it, obviously. I just wanted to show people, like, guys, this is how my music videos used to look before. Now look where we're at.
But you didn't know.
And like I said, because I really did not know the path I was actually going to take. You know, I started filming music videos around 2011, 2012. Just starting with some friends that were trying to rap and, you know, stuff like that. And then I remember exactly what they looked like, and they were the corniest shit ever. You know? But it's like,
I all have to go through that.
I just wish I can show everybody like how I started out versus to where we're at now. You know, working with a simple like DSLR camera up to cinema cameras now, you know, and
shit.
You know, it was a lot of progression. And then of course, you know, during that time I was going to film school to learn a lot more about filmmaking, and then you know, utilize all my filmmaking knowledge into music videos and stuff like that. And I so regret deleting that shit, just because I really wanted to show people like what I was able, like what I've accomplished so far. So everybody out there, don't delete shit. Just archive it. Archive that shit. So you know, you never know what's gonna happen. But you know, you do have like a wide variety of sound, like ranging from R&B, pop, and I noticed you have used like reggaeton, like Hawaiian type sounds from your song Wild and Mine. Can we expect more songs like those in the future?
Thank you for asking that.
Of course.
I released singles last year, and it was originally supposed to be released as an EP. So it was like a total of 6 songs, and it was really just a mix of like the type of music that I love listening to. So pop, R&B. Then you got the island reggae type music. And it's the music that I love to dance to too. So it was just like a mix of things. But on the horizon, yes, you'll hear more. I think not sure if it's going to be a thing yet, but I think I will release an EP next year. And then after that EP, I do want to get more into like a more cohesive sound. But we'll see. I'm excited for what that's going to turn into. I love R&B, obviously. I love pop, but I also love hyphy music. I love to dance and go crazy.
Let's go. We gotta hear that from Angelo, guys. We gotta hear that stuff from Angelo. So we're excited, you know, for you to drop that stuff in the future.
Aside from like the cohesiveness, you know, I think you're a very strong like vocalist. Have you ever thought about like auditioning for like American Idol or like The Voice?
You know what? I love watching those shows. I love watching the shows. I don't think I would ever want to compete. Granted, I did audition for American Idol years ago. Didn't even make it through the first round. But I I love watching the show. I don't think I would ever be on it though.
Why?
Yeah. You know what? I feel like it's so much more than the voice, so much more than the talent.
It's marketing
There's
too,
like yes, marketing. There's the story behind it and like the drama or like I don't know. It just feels like it's.
Oh, we've heard a lot of stories. We've heard a lot of stories. I mean, you know, a couple of our friends was on American Idol for one season, and then another of our friends actually made it to the top 10.
Yeah.
And you know, we asked them a lot about, you know, the like how it went on in the back, you know, with American Idol and stuff. Did you want to touch on that? Because I know you were gonna.
But you're already going. Go ahead.
Oh no. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I mean, you know, it's. I would say avoid those because it's exactly what they told us. It really wasn't worth it. It's good for show, you know, to gain followers and, you know, clout and stuff like that. But other than that, it really doesn't help you as much.
Right. Like he was saying too, like it's good for a resume. It's good to put, you know, on the books when you're applying for things. Yeah. But they were saying like the end result after the show, like it really didn't do anything besides give you this, you know, sense of clout that you reached at a certain point of time. Right. But what did that really do for their listeners? What did that really do for their like overall fan base? You know, they didn't really take anything attainable out of that. So like. I think you're like spot on. Like you just ride your own wave and you'll eventually get there, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. And like I said, you know, everybody grows on TikTok.
Right.
Everybody grows on Instagram Reels now.
Yeah.
Utilize that instead of utilizing a TV show where you're going to have to go through a lot of hassle, a lot of bullshit and, you know, stuff like that because from what we've already heard, it's really not worth it. Yeah. That's all you're going to gain is pretty much clout and stuff like that. Right. Grow on TikTok. Utilize Reels nowadays because you will gain like a lot of fans just from that, and it's quicker to grow now on short form you know like projects format, like that, you know, format, you know, such as TikTok and Reels. Like so, I think you're going in the right direction. Just keep with what you're doing. You know, just keep grinding it out. You know, Filipino artists definitely are on the come up though. But I still feel like a lot of them still have not hit a certain pinnacle, you know? Do you think it's hard as a Filipino artist to grow and get your music out there?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because I feel like this is so important to talk about.
It is because, you know, this is the reason, you know, like I said, I'm half Filipino and I take more of my Filipino side than my white side. So, you know, like, So, and it, like I said, I definitely consider myself more Filipino, but this is also the reason why I've wanted to bring a lot of Filipinos on the show. Yes. We've had so many Filipino artists coming on the show so we can help promote their music and get them out there and, you know, stuff like that. I support my culture and stuff. And that's one thing I actually haven't asked anybody yet. So I want to ask you as a Filipino artist, like, you know.
Thank you. Man, where do I start? I feel like there's so many talented Filipinos.
Yeah, there is.
So many talented Filipinos. And there's always been this question of like, why aren't there so many talented Filipinos in the mainstream, right?
Exactly.
We have Jeremy Passion, we have Gabe Bonda, we have AJ Raphael, like huge YouTube stars.
Huge.
Why were they not on the big screen? Why were they not played on like the mainstream radio stations, right? And I just feel like we have so much to give, and that's why I'm thankful for artists like Bruno, like Olivia, right, who are representing for the Filipinos. But that's also why I'm doing it too, because I want to inspire people who identify with me, people who are like, he's Filipino, and I don't even need to ask him because I know, right? And I feel like there needs to be a bigger wave of Filipinos in the industry, in the mainstream industry. So shout out to Joe Coy with Easter Sunday.
Facts. For real.
And just growing up, I feel like the first representation of a Filipino lead character that I saw was the Filipino prince in Cinderella. Cinderella with Brandy. Come on. That's one of my favorite musicals. And I'm like, the casting of that musical was insane. And to see a Filipino as the main lead, as the prince, right? That was crazy to see. And I want to see more of that. And I love that you all are in the industry and that we're all in the industry. And we just need to continue to support each other.
No, we do.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, that's another reason why, like I said, I love bringing Filipinos on the show, and you know he's actually Lao. He's not Filipino, but you know we are gonna have some shows very soon featuring a lot of Lao artists, because no matter what, the Asian culture definitely needs to support each other, because we are not out there enough to get to a certain point where we're like blowing up, you know, like it takes so much hard work just to get to that point. So we literally all have to support each other in order to grow a certain, you know, certain height and certain.
Right now we got BTS, you know, as an Asian community, you know, they're at the Grammys and everything. So like, I think as the Asian culture, we are like pushing some waves in little bits. But like, I think the Filipino culture is definitely on that next wave, right behind Korean, you know, artists as well, because you know Koreans are like super marketable, and they have like a whole academy, and like they train like these professional artists in school. They have professional schooling. So, but like Filipinos, you know, I grew up with Filipinos in Seattle all the time. I probably know more Tagalog than my own language.
That's why we're like best friends.
Right,
you know?
right. So, and I love Filipino women too.
He does.
In my DMs. He does. Shameless plug. But aside from that, I think, you know, Filipinos are so talented. Not only can they sing, they could dance. They're just like you know, like they could do everything. They're one-stop shop, just like Koreans, you know. And so I feel like you guys are so talented, and there's so many Filipino artists. I didn't say you, but I just thought Filipinos in general.
Oh, okay.
They're so talented, you know. That you know, they're right behind, you know, all the Korean artists, and I wish that they got more shine. And I feel like your guys' time is coming up next. For sure.
You know, definitely one person I want to mention is, I feel like that had helped the Filipino community that really don't know. I forget her name though, because I'm actually kind of buzzed.
Let me see if I know.
You know her from Jasmine, Aladdin.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Lea Salonga.
There you go. Lea Salonga. Yes. Lea Salonga. That's so Lea Salonga was the original singer of, you know, on the Aladdin soundtrack. So I feel like she definitely has helped the Filipino community grow, but a lot of people don't know that.
They don't know.
Of course the Filipinos know that, but a lot of people that, you know Aladdin don't realize she's actually Filipino, guys. She's actually Filipino, and it's crazy to know that. You know, so that's another step in the right direction for Filipinos, even though that is old and people I think are just finding out about, you know, that you know, it is
she
timeless.
also did Mulan.
Yes, that is true. You know, so like I said, Filipinos have always been on the come up, but they just don't realize they're Filipino.
Yeah, they're on the back end.
They're on the back end. But like I said, I do feel like a lot of Filipinos are blowing up now. It's just we're not to that point where we're all mainstream. And but like I said, it just takes that one Filipino. Once they know you're Filipino, all the Filipinos you're gonna have supporters.
Base.
That fan base
is crazy.
That's all it takes. Like I said, you know, so that's why, like I said, all of us Filipinos, we all need to support each other as artists. Let's help each other grow.
Asians in general.
Like I said, the Asian community is so big, and I do agree. Like, everybody is literally supporting each other. It's just it hasn't got to that mainstream, except for like Joe Coy and what is that other show? That show on ABC.
Off the boat.
Off the boat. Whatever. I'm buzzed.
He's done.
No, but you know what I'm talking about. They are finally bringing Asians into the spotlight to the point where it's like Asians are finally getting their own TV shows or their own movies. I mean, you know, like that's what I think a lot of the whole Asian community has been waiting for. You know, so I'm finally happy.
Exactly.
We've been waiting a long time. I feel like with Easter Sunday, I feel like the last time a big movie
that's the first Filipino movie that has hit big in America.
Yes. But hold on, do you remember the debut?
Yes, I do.
Come on.
I do remember the debut. You know, I showed Rachel. Yeah, he's never seen it, but I showed Rachel the debut because when that
I've been to a lot of debuts. I haven't seen debut.
No, that movie is groundbreaking. It happened. Dante Bosco. He starred in it, and that was definitely one of the other big Filipino films. I feel like, but you know, I think it went straight to DVD. And it was also also, I think so, but it was also based in like Bay Area and stuff like that, as far as I remember. But That's a great film. That is a great film. I remember
Yeah.
when I showed Rachel the first time, because she's Filipino, obviously, but she's never seen it before, and it's still funny too.
Yeah.
Like there are certain things where it's like you connect with, because
Yeah.
you know, when you go to Filipino family parties, and
Yeah.
these are things that you literally connect with,
Yes.
that you find
They're
funny
always
as well.
late. Filipino time.
They're
Listen.
late. They're late.
Listen.
But and then
Yes.
also like sometimes the accents on how they
Right,
pronounce.
right, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
of course, all of us are gonna like, especially American-born Filipinos, we're gonna find that stuff funny.
Yeah,
you know.
right,
So
right,
it's like
yeah.
I love how they
Yeah.
incorporated that kind of stuff into the film as
Yeah.
well. But like I said, I feel like The Debut is just one of those films
Yeah.
where it connected with Filipinos in general. Like
Yes.
any Filipino is gonna know
Yeah.
how a debut is gonna work, like the
Yeah.
party itself. Like,
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
what were you gonna say?
One more thing about Filipinos and Filipino artists, do you like Kai and Panay, like
yeah.
those music artists back in the day, like y'all, they made a wave. I feel like
Yeah,
too
yeah.
for Filipinos, and just shout out to them. Like,
Yeah, big shout out.
Yeah,
Big
for
shout
sure.
out. Like I said, in general, the Asian community, the Filipino community, everybody's growing now. It's just we all gotta stay supporting each other to get to that certain point where it's
Right,
like
yeah.
we finally made it. And I feel like Joe Coy has definitely helped
Oh, yeah.
the
Right.
Filipino community with his comedy Netflix shows. Now, you know,
Movie.
Yeah, the movie. And it's crazy that Steven Spielberg
Yeah.
wanted to actually produce the movie for him.
Right. He reached out to him.
That he reached out to him, so that even shows like the community is growing.
Yeah.
Right.
And we got to
Yeah.
keep it growing.
And the
Let's keep
power.
it going.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Power
I
that
said,
you guys
we
hold.
all got to just
Yeah.
keep supporting each other.
Yeah.
Let's keep grinding, and you know, let's keep going forward.
We'll get there.
You know,
Yeah,
and-
for sure.
Yeah, so you know, one thing I definitely noticed is you do have a lot of inspiration from your music, such as Chris Brown, Passion. Of
Yeah.
course, I already
Yeah.
noticed some Passion in
Yeah.
there, Common Kings, and even some old school R&B vibes. Like,
Yeah.
who would you say was like your biggest influence? So when you started getting into music,
For sure, Chris Brown.
that's everybody.
Usher.
Yeah.
That's ours too.
Usher, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Man, Usher.
Chris Brown and Usher,
who
yeah.
else? I just vocally, Jessie J.
Jessie
when
J.
she
yeah.
dropped that acoustic "Do It Like a Dude" video
Yeah.
on YouTube,
Yeah.
crazy.
That's old school. I don't even know if a
Crazy.
lot of people are gonna remember that.
Y'all,
Yeah, that's
great. Like
yeah.
nobody could touch her vocally.
Yeah,
yeah. Right.
Yeah. So for sure, Stevie Wonder, Luther Vandross,
Yeah.
and just
Old school R&B.
Legend.
Like I said, that's what I really got a vibe from your music is
Right.
you definitely feature a lot of old school R&B, and that's my kind of vibe. You know, like I
same.
love old school R&B and. You know, of course, old school pop and stuff like that. But in that, I literally got that vibe from Passion. Like, not just
Oh,
because you're
thank you,
Filipino,
thank you, yeah.
but it's just because if you do listen to Passion's music, I definitely felt some kind of connection
Yeah.
in it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Lemonade, like,
Oh,
come
come
on,
on, yeah,
you
come
know?
on, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I said,
With the ook, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I just felt like it was also, you gave off that, you know, island kind of vibe, that reggaeton kind of vibe. It's around that area, you know? So that's what I was pretty much, you know, gravitating towards. I really love your style of music, and
Yeah,
gotta
for
keep
sure.
going with that, bro. Like I said,
Yeah.
I really loved the reggaeton and Hawaiian feel that you
Yeah.
had, because it did remind me of like Common Kings, and
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
huge Common Kings fan.
Yeah.
You know, are you kind of Common Kings fan?
Yeah, shout out to my parents who are huge island reggae fans.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
they,
okay.
they play that like nonstop.
Yeah, see? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was
Barbecues,
like,
family
it
parties.
has to be at
Yeah,
least like
yeah.
some
I can
Common
see that
Kings
too.
right there, you know.
Yeah.
So big shout out to them and
Yeah.
everything like that. But guys, it is time to dive into the artistry roulette.
Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah.
So here on the Artistry Drop, we want to bring something new and exciting to the show. So today we're going to play a game called Artistry Roulette. Here is how the game is going to go. You're going to choose a number between 1 and 10.
Okay.
Each number will contain a random question, which you only have 15 seconds to answer.
Snap.
You'll answer a total of only 6 questions, but each question that goes over 15 seconds will cost you a sip of that drink.
That water.
Oh,
that
snap.
water.
The water.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. Here
Angelo,
we go. Here we go.
are you ready?
I'm ready.
All
Okay, so
right.
you got to choose a number between 1 and 10.
Okay. 5.
5. Okay, these go together, but if you could only choose one, what would you choose? Singing or dancing?
Oh, snap.
Timer starts now, 15 seconds.
Dancing.
Dancing.
But why?
And why?
Oh man, I feel like dancing comes a little more natural to me.
okay.
Singing, I feel like I need to There's a little more that has to go on.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
14 seconds.
You
You got it right on the dot.
Okay, so that's a part of the 15 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, that's a part of the 15 seconds.
You're good. Okay,
So,
that's one down.
Yeah, so you got 5 more.
Okay, 8.
8.
If the world was going to end tomorrow and you could only choose one person to save, who would it be and why?
Oh,
Timer
my.
starts now. It's a hard question.
Yes.
I'm going to take a sip of this one. Y'all trying to get me.
10 seconds.
10
All right,
seconds,
you got to take a
go
sip.
ahead. You can, and then you can explain.
Okay.
You can explain. You're going to have to take a sip of that water anyways.
Wait, should I take a sip now?
It doesn't matter.
Go ahead.
Okay, all right, here we go. Okay, I can explain?
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, my family's going to be watching and listening to this. I'm not even going to
That's true.
go down that rabbit hole.
That's true. Can be a lot of drama.
Facts.
Okay.
That is facts.
So you got 4 more.
Okay, 3.
3.
3s. Okay, so this may not be a tough one for you at all. But San Francisco or LA and why?
Timer starts now.
It shouldn't be that difficult.
Okay, I know, right?
Yeah.
San Francisco. The
Okay.
Bay will always be home.
The
Facts.
backs.
There
Yeah.
you go.
But why?
Yeah.
It's
Most
always
of my-
going to be home.
Okay, yeah,
Most of my family's there. Yeah,
10 seconds.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You got that. You got that.
There you
All
go,
right,
there
3
you go.
more.
9.
9.
Okay, so this one might be a tough one, but maybe it won't.
Okay,
Would you prefer a record deal or stay independent, and why?
record deal.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There's
Why?
not enough Filipinos with a major record deal who can back them and market them on a global and universal scale.
Okay, that's true.
10 seconds.
I will agree with
You've
that.
been thinking about that for a
No,
while.
you know what? That's a great
Yeah.
answer. You know, because I actually didn't think about it that way.
Yeah.
I was literally thinking of like Chance, and you know, he's been so successful as an independent artist and able to grow as an artist himself. But the fact that you brought up as a Filipino artist, I 100% agree with you. You just literally have to take that record deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
To each their own. Now, granted, you're not just gonna hop into any
No,
record
exactly.
deal, right?
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
just saying, if it,
No,
If the
because in
terms are
my
right.
mind, in my mind, I was honestly kind of going towards more of a Chance. Like, if
for
Chance
sure.
can do it, or the
A lot of
artist
people
can,
can do it.
everybody else can do it. But the fact
Yeah.
that you brought up as a Filipino artist, that does change things a little bit.
Right.
You do have to take that record deal. Like,
Yeah,
I 100%
right.
agree
That's
with
true.
you. So, yeah.
So you did 3 questions. You got 3 more.
Okay, 7.
7.
7. Okay, what is your favorite martial arts film and why?
Timer starts now.
Since you are a martial artist.
Snap. I think Enter the Dragon. I feel
that's a good
Bruce
one.
Lee classic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Have you ever visited Bruce Lee? It's great in Seattle.
I have not. I've never been to Seattle.
Oh, okay.
So
You need to.
I
Yeah,
know.
you do.
I know. I do.
You
I
need
do.
to. It's definitely
Yeah.
like, I feel like it's a staple in
it is,
Seattle.
yeah.
Like, I've been there so many times, and you know, he's buried next to Brandon and everything like that, and it's crazy. Just going there, the vibe that you get, because it's a tourist spot. So
Yeah.
sometimes you might go there where there's a lot of people just kind of
Yeah.
crowding around. But if you can get there on a good day where it's more just calm and
Yeah.
you know, you're the only ones there, you can actually just kind of sit, relax,
Wow.
and reflect on like Bruce's movies and stuff like that. But
That's true.
good choice. Yeah,
Yeah.
Enter the Dragon is one of my favorite films from Bruce Lee.
No,
as
it
well.
is for
So,
mine as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So, all right, 2 more.
Okay, 2.
2. Least favorite Filipino dish and why?
Snap. You know.
Timer starts now.
Okay. Dinuguan.
Dinuguan.
Because I found out what it was,
Okay.
and then when I found out what it was, I was like,
stopped.
"Yeah, no,
Oh.
no."
Yeah.
Okay.
It
11
is
seconds.
like, okay, so I had the same exact reaction as you. Once I actually found out it was just pig's blood and stuff like that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop eating. So the thing is, there are different Filipino restaurants out there that do dinuguan differently.
That's true.
Okay,
Some will have
okay.
fatty pig meat and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and
Yeah.
then the sauce. But some will actually have really good, like, chewy meat.
Okay, yep.
What do you choose? Like
The meat.
the
part.
meat.
The
Yeah,
meat.
see, that's exactly me,
But
because
dinuguan can also be dark, and then they also have this white version, white sauce version. I forgot what it's called.
they have a white sauce version.
Yeah, they have a white
I've
sauce
never
version.
seen
Is
that.
it like Bicol Express?
Bicol Express,
I think-
yes,
yeah, I think
Bicol
it is.
Express. Yeah,
I forgot what it's called,
But
yeah.
it's not the same thing as dinuguan.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's not.
Oh,
It's a little bit
I
different.
like the white sauce version.
Yeah, that, no,
That
but
was
that,
good,
yeah,
that was good,
yeah,
yeah.
Bicol
Yeah.
Express is good, but yeah, no, dinuguan. I've been so picky with dinuguan because I've tried it all. Like,
yeah.
if the meat is not like how, you know, like, think about chicken. There's so many different dinuguans out there. If the meat tastes like chicken, where it's kind of chewy and you know, it tastes like meat, those are good dinuguans. Yeah. But if it's like super fatty and it tastes really
spongy,
spongy, I'm like, no, I can't eat this.
That. Okay.
I don't know about you. Like, have you had that situation?
I just like the meat part. But speaking of chicken, okay, we'll move on to the next question. But real quick, my mom makes some bomb chicken sisig.
Ooh,
bro, come on.
Love sisig. I love sisig.
Yes. Yeah, I love sisig.
All right, we can come back to that later.
Okay, you got one more. You got one more.
One.
One, okay. Yeah. Well, it kind of relates to the Filipino dish, but what is your favorite Filipino food dish and why?
Man.
Time starts now.
It's a tie. It's a tie between sinigang and kare-kare.
Oh,
cooked by my mom.
That is
okay. You like that home cooked food?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, sinigang. When it comes to that, like, so it's funny. Yeah. My mom is white and she cooks the Filipino food in our family. I know you've tried the Filipino food.
Sinigang.
And it literally tastes like Filipino food and stuff like that. But I'm like, damn, like, even if this is cooked by a Filipino or a white person, like, nah, I just can't do it. Like, it's not good. Like, for me, like, if anything, I love the juice, but all the other stuff that they add to sinigang, it's like,
wait, like what?
Like, okay, so, you know, they've had other veggies.
Okay,
I can't do the veggies that are put into the sinigang.
Interesting.
I just can't do it, for me. But I will eat, like, the pork. Because, you know, some are on pork ribs and stuff like. I will eat the pork. But that's it. If anything, if my mom does make sinigang, it's just rice and the actual juice. And I just eat it that way. I just don't do the...
Might as well just have some arroz caldo.
No, I mean, arroz caldo. Yeah. No, I love arroz caldo. Like,
I love it.
Yeah, that's the way to go if
yes.
I mean, you want a soup, a rice dish, I guess, you know, and stuff like that. Yeah. But hey, Angelo, thank you for playing Artistry Roulette. I know you kind of want to go back on the last question. You said you wanted to get back more into it. Did you want to talk about it a little bit? Or your least favorite Filipino dish?
Oh, dinuguan.
Yeah, the dinuguan, I think.
My mom's chicken sisig.
So that's what it was.
Right?
Sisig, yeah.
It's usually with pork, but with chicken, I like chicken just in general more. So it's bomb, and she air fries the chicken skin, so it tastes like pork skin.
Yeah.
But
that's bomb.
No, I've tried. So you know, I've tried. Because I cook myself. I cook myself.
You cook yourself?
I cook as well myself. You know, and I've tried cooking chicken sisig and stuff like.
It's hard.
I would definitely say chicken sisig is a lot more tough than pork sisig, because you do have to get the chicken sisig like at a perfect, like the skin and all that stuff. Like, I don't know. It's really hard to choose between those two, because I do love the chicken sisig and I do love the pork sisig, but which one is more healthy?
I mean, chicken is healthier,
right? Chicken is healthier,
but pork is more flavorful.
That's the thing.
That's true.
So it's more enjoyable.
Yeah, it's more enjoyable.
See, there you go.
So if you're only having it every now and then, I would prefer the pork. But if I'm having it every day, like of course I would.
Which is almost typical in a Filipino household.
Right.
See, that's the thing.
That's why I need a Filipino girl. Come on, I need some sisig.
There you go.
You know, I'll make you some, salmon. You know what you need. I meal prep.
There you go.
Come on, I got the application. Come on.
There you go.
I apply.
Come on.
It's gonna be a cohesive relationship. Come on.
That is so funny.
All right, Angelo. Well, like I said, thank you again for joining the Artistry Roulette. We really appreciate it. It's a new game, guys. We've added to the Artistry Drop, and if you haven't heard it, go back on our previous couple episodes. It is there, but we're gonna dive back in. So I had just seen you performed at the Long Beach Filipino Festival. Was that your first time performing at like a Filipino festival, and was it a vibe? Like, were all the titas and titos vibing and stuff like that?
Yes. Yo, it was my first time at performing at a Filipino festival, and you are exactly right. Titas and and Joe Coy's mom was actually there.
Really?
Yeah, emceeing the event.
Oh, that's
so that
crazy.
was super cool. She was on stage while I was performing. I was like, oh, this is cool.
That's cool.
But yeah, it just felt good to be around, the Filipino community and culture and food. And I just loved performing.
Yeah. So that was pretty much your first one. Did they not have any back home in like the Bay Area?
You know what? They did, but I think because of the pandemic and like obviously all that, like I didn't really have a chance to perform last year and all that, and I feel like this year I'm performing way more, way more often. That's so good. When I saw this opportunity, I was like, oh, this is gonna be amazing.
No, and you do like literally, you know, that's why you're also helping out the Filipino community, is putting yourself out there in any kind of you know, show that you're able to get yourself in. Like once people know you're Filipino, they're gonna gravitate towards you, and that's like I said, you're still helping the Filipino community get out there. So hey, big ups to you. You know, so your music video, Wild. I know it is a long time ago. It's about a year ago, I believe, right? But one thing I noticed was it featured a lot of different people in it, from like people dancing, skating, and some might have been family. Like, how did you come up with the idea and the concept that revolves around that music video?
Oh man, thank you for bringing that up. That music video, that was the original concept. We wanted to do like a compilation video of friends, family, really us, like my family and I quarantining together. But then it switched over to something else, but then we came back to the compilation. So shout out to my friends who are a part of it. Like it was just a fun thing. And it's a fun song. Right?
No, definitely.
So I thought it would be an awesome opportunity to involve the fam, the friends, and all that.
So, no, that's good. You know, I also got the vibe of, you know, during COVID and everything that was happening was what was it, Stay With You, or the Justin Bieber and Ariana, where they compiled like a whole bunch of, what was the song?
Stuck With You.
Stuck With You. Yeah, you know, I remember that music video, just whole bunch of people just being in it, and I got also that vibe. But I really liked how you you know, went outside of the box and thought about adding just, you know, friends, family, and everybody to the video, because that's not something that you see too often. You know, so it was really cool. I think you featuring people that you care about into your music video. Of course, you had little parts of you and stuff like that, but you also featured a lot of your friends and family. And,
because, you know, mostly music videos, they focus so much on the artist. But the fact that you really brought the vibe of like togetherness, you know, there's different avenues of life, but what really pulls everyone together is like, you know, being
family, friends,
you know, and being all in together in one. So I feel like that music video, you know, really speaks into the success of the views and stuff like that. So like it resonated with a lot of us as well.
So big ups to you on that concept.
Thank you. And fun fact about that music video, now that I'm thinking about it, there was, so the parts that you see me like randomly singing into like different things, that was all in one shot. And shout out to my sister and sister-in-law, because they were following me around, and I think it was my sister or sister-in-law. They were literally guiding my back so I wouldn't bump into anything.
That's how you do it.
It was so funny. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yo, they really helped me.
That was a production team right there.
That is.
There you go. Brought the fam in.
You brought the whole fam in. They helped you with the production. Hey, no, like I said, it turned out great, and I really loved how you went about it, because
for sure,
like he mentioned, you know, it's not something that you see too often. You see all music videos featuring the artists themselves, but the fact, you know, it just shows you care about your friends, your family, and you wanted them to be a part of your own work. And hey, big ups to you, like I said, and awesome music video.
Yes, sir.
You know, one thing I did also notice is you released majority of singles. Like, are you in this, and you kind of brought this up a little bit, like maybe we can dive in a little bit more, but are you in the studio working on an EP, and can we expect one very soon?
Okay.
What can you say? What can you not say?
You don't have to say everything.
Okay,
I know. We know you gotta keep things little secret here and there. But
I can say there are 2 more songs, and those last 2, they might come out when the EP drops. Okay. So that I might not do them as singles.
So we do have an EP coming though.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's all you can say. He's like,
I'm excited. I'm
He's trying to be low key right now, guys.
But in the meantime, too, I am looking for producers to work with and songwriters to collaborate with. So I am also like looking to work on new music. So
No, awesome. Like I said, we're definitely looking forward to you know, hearing the EP, because you already have some great music out, and I'm definitely excited to see where you go in the future. So big ups.
Yeah, no, I can see that. You know, we talked so much about your music, but me coming from a dance background,
come on,
you know, and I watched a lot of your videos. You know, I can tell you've been dancing for quite some time now. So how did you get into dance? And you know, was it before you started singing, or like, I know you mentioned you dancing comes more naturally to you as well.
Oh man, when did I even start? I feel like I do remember my great grandma had like an 80th birthday celebration, and we got all the cousins together, and we had to learn like some ballroom routines.
Oh, right.
So that was like probably one of my first
How old were you at the time?
Oh man, I was a kid.
Okay,
I was like a kid. And then from there, did like high school rallies and like choreographed some of the stuff there. Then did musical theaters and then like that type of dancing. And then, like I mentioned before, like watching so many hip hop videos, and then ABDC was Jabberwockies. Come on. And then when I moved out to LA, that's when I really started to train like in classes more consistently. When I moved out to LA, I definitely hopped into like the intermediate advanced classes because I was like, listen,
I've been doing it for a while.
I've been doing it for a while in my head.
Yeah,
I watched these videos on YouTube, and I feel like with the martial arts background, it helped me to like pick up the choreo and like remember things. That was not the case. I was in the back of class like, hold on, and there was like little kids like picking up the choreography. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me take a step back. Just like let's focus on beginner, intermediate, and then work our way up.
That's how you have to do it.
No, but you've been killing it though, especially on all the reels and all your videos. You've been doing great yourself.
Thank you so much.
I come from like the freestyle battling type of dance. So like when I step into a class, I've been dancing for a long time, so I think I could go into an intermediate class because I know I could do those moves. But learning it within that short time frame is a whole different beast.
Dude, you and I are the opposite because my weakness is freestyling. I am so afraid, not so afraid, but like I'm just not comfortable doing freestyle. Like after the choreo piece is done and the choreographer is like, all right, freestyle. I'm like, let me just 2-step real quick. But I love learning choreo. So the choreo part is like cool for me, but the freestyling is not. But like you said, like the picking up of the choreo and retaining it in a short amount of time. And then when you bring in the cameras at the end of class.
Adds the pressure.
And there's so many people who are better than you or like who are just so good at dancing.
And who are younger too.
One, though, it pushes you and it inspires you and it just feels like this feels amazing, right? But yes, that there is that part that's just like it pushes you.
Exactly. Pushes you harder. Like, you know, we're in the industry where like in LA where like people are doing this for a living, so like, this is what they live and breathe. So it's a whole different level when you go into these industry classes as well. But going back to my question, was dance like before singing? I know you've been dancing for a long time, or was it like kind of like both at the same time?
I want to say both at the same time, but I think I was doing more singing
really?
when I was a kid. More singing, and then dancing, I feel like I picked up more in high school when I used to do the rallies and stuff.
Would you say like around like Chris Brown era, because you noticed when he was doing like dancing and singing at the same time? You know, because I know you mentioned that too. It's like when you saw Chris Brown like singing and dancing at the same time, that's where it was like
I'd probably say around that same time, and then being able to combine singing and dancing, that's
tough.
I love.
It's tough. I mean, even for me, I mean, I'm not a dancer or a singer, but I'm just like, I can already just see how hard it is to multitask with the two. I could never do it. Like thinking about the moves that you got to do and then trying to remember your lyrics. I don't know. And you've done it though. You've done it though, you know? So it's like...
It takes work.
Yes.
It's the behind the scenes, right? And it's just, it's the behind the scenes, and it's watching the greats and being inspired by the greats. And Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Chris Brown, Usher, just watching them. And I personally love watching live performances.
Me too.
Just like in general on YouTube. I love watching how they entertain and just like the performance aspect. And I strive to do that when I perform live, when I am able to combine choreo and singing.
The only live performances I watch is Michael Jackson. Because majority of people on our podcast already know I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. I grew up with him when I was a little kid, and you know, trying to imitate his dance moves and you know, in general, like MJ is the GOAT. Like he's the fucking GOAT. Like you know, and like I said, that's for me. That's the only like literally. Like, he even mentioned he was like, all I hear him play is like Michael Jackson.
All day, every day. But you know, he really set the standard for like all dancers and all singers at the same time, which is crazy. Like that's who Usher and Chris Brown like look up to, and that's who we look up to. So it's just like a legacy, you know, passed down. But going back into dance and going back into you, like, who are some of your like biggest inspiration when it comes to dance? I could definitely see some like Kyle Hinagami, you know, Mass Stefanina, like when it comes to your vibe of style. But who would you say?
Oh man, those people, like watching their videos, Wildebeest. I watched a lot. Janelle, oh man, so many. And then the not, I don't want to say new because they've been around, but like Dexter Carr, over at Playground, Kenny Wormald, and Nick Gilligan, and then Jerry Slaughter. I was able to train with him. He used to choreograph stuff for like Christina Aguilera. And Isabel. Isabel. Yeah, Isabel. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Capitule.
Yes. Yeah. So dope.
Yeah, she's fire too. Dope. Yeah, so I see you killing it in classes all the time, and we kind of touched on this like a little bit before, but like I love asking choreo heads of like if they ever entered a battle or if they enjoy freestyling, because a lot of people who don't dance, they don't really understand the disconnect between people who go to classes, who take choreo, and also people who battle and do freestyling. There's like a whole like it's like two opposites of the world, you know? Yeah. What would you say? When it comes to that,
I am definitely more on the choreo side. Yeah. So much respect for the people who can do both or who can freestyle. Like that is real.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's why I admire so much. Like when it came to like choreo heads, like Keone or like Brian Puswell's Enos Hood, because they're that perfect kind of blend when it came to choreo and freestyle. So you know, that's who I admire when it comes to like choreo heads, because like it's hard to find that balance, and you know, once you train in one aspect, it really takes you away from the other. So like I always ask dancers like if they ever dabble in between the two, because like it is like hard to juggle that, you know, both.
That is something that I definitely want to work on. Freestyle. So maybe you could show me some moves, all right?
And maybe you could show me some choreo, because like I definitely have a hard time picking up choreo in such a short period of time. If you gave me like a whole day, I could learn the choreo.
Right.
But learning it within an hour or sometimes even 30 minutes, you know, with the class.
Like, that's usually how long they give you,
it's usually 30 minutes, Dude. So it's hard. It's a struggle.
I was in class last night doing an intermediate advanced class, and I'm like, okay, listen.
Right.
It was challenging, but then of course, like when I go home and practice it more, I got it.
Of course.
But like within that short time frame, like you say,
it's hard.
That's the challenge. I feel like that is the challenge.
And it's especially when you venture out into a style that's totally different than your own. You know, that's where it gets the most challenging. But that's where industry dancers come in, and that's where they could be the backstage dancer with these artists, because they could just pick it up like super quick, you know.
The process, the training.
Exactly. And so going into your artistry, you know, it sounds like you're so focused on being an artist in general. Has being a professional dancer ever been in the cards for you, or a career path?
You know what? I've thought about it. I've thought about it, but no. Okay. I'm so committed to being an artist and an overall entertainer and performer, and I feel like a part of that motivation is being a Filipino artist and wanting to do it for the community, or wanting to do it for Asian Americans, right? Because there are a lot of Asians, a lot of Filipinos who dance, and our background dancers, and are amazing, and choreographers. They're so amazing, and they're so talented. And I just would love to see more Filipinos at the forefront.
Just like Chris
being
Brown.
that artist.
No, like I said, you're already going that route. You know, like I said, you know, big ups to you, because it's hard finding an artist that can actually dance and sing at the same time. You see a lot of artists nowadays where, you know, if they can't dance, they just walk on the stage back and forth and sing their song and stuff. But it's so hard to find upcoming artists where they can actually dance and sing at the same time. But the fact that you mentioned Filipino artists, it is true, because I feel like Filipinos are talented all across the board. Singing, dancing.
Multi-talented.
Yeah, multi-talented.
Boxing. Beauty pageants.
Yes, exactly. No, like I said, you know, so it's like you add those together there you go, you know. So
that is true.
like I said, you're already doing it already, and you're going in the right career path. So
yeah, I can see that. Like, since you take so many dance classes and you're like mostly behind the scenes, have you ever thought about like choreographing your own pieces and teaching yourself?
You know, I have choreographed some things, and I have like the island reggae song Mine. I choreographed the dances for that music video, and then for my live performances I choreographed that. But I am so open to working with choreographers. I feel like I'm a student first, and I love learning choreography. So I am excited to continue to work with other choreographers and bring them in and have them choreograph to my songs. That'd be so.
Is there like a certain choreographer you would love to collaborate on?
Man,
that's hard. That's a hard one.
Like, because there are so many, but like, is there a certain choreographer that you gravitate towards more that you would love, that you feel fits your music, and you would love to choreograph one of your songs?
Oh, so many. And I've thought about this too. I'm like, especially with training in different classes at different studios in LA, I'm like, I think it would be dope to have them choreograph something. Some of the choreographers that I mentioned before, like Dexter, Nick, Kenny, Nick. Isabel, and all the Filipino choreographers and all them. But
I guess it just really depends on the genre.
It depends.
It depends.
Well, hopefully we can use this podcast to get the word out, and maybe on the future
manifest.
songs. Manifest that. You know, hopefully we can use this platform to get the word out, and maybe one of those choreographers can do the next music video or whatever. You know,
no, that'd be dope. So you know, putting dancing aside, you're also a martial artist. You know, how did you get into that, and has coming from a dance background really helped in that aspect?
I want to say, so martial arts was my first thing.
Actually. Oh, really? Okay.
I want to say that I started when I was like 7, 8 years old and did it throughout 20 years. So it was like my first
so you can
thing.
kick all of our asses.
We need you to defend. All right? But that was like the first thing, and like taught me so much, from self-discipline to commitment to dedication to growing up. I feel like, I don't want to make this like a woe is me moment, but like I didn't really have, I guess, like a regular childhood. Like a lot of it was training, a lot of it was preparing for tournaments, a lot of it was staying late at this martial arts studio, and I feel like that has really helped me with knowing my body, and I feel like that really helped with dance.
Awareness.
Yes, awareness for sure. And then of course like the self-defense aspect, of course, that's always been
but also like learning too. From a young age, and going into these dance classes. That's probably why you pick it up so quickly.
And that's why I love learning too. And I feel there was a point on my martial arts journey where I became an instructor and I started to teach, but I love being a student and just learning too. So
I feel like you know, that's probably been the path you needed to be on, because you starting at a younger age and then progressing into an artist, that has helped you. Think about Michael Jackson. Like I said, I will always go back to Michael Jackson. Jackson 5. He started literally when he was about, you know, like 8, 9, or 10. You know, one of the, you know, somewhere around there, Jackson 5, and you know, progressing to the solo artist he is now. I feel like maybe that was something, maybe a path you were on. You know, maybe it's not your artistry, but you started when you were younger, started you know, learning martial arts, and then now you're progressing into this artist. You know, so maybe, you know,
you explained that so beautifully.
Thank you.
I think martial arts was my first form of art, first form of artistry that I was introduced to and like actually dedicated to. So I really feel like that bled into music and dance, and
that's a strong foundation too, because you learn, like you said, you learn that dedication, you know, that commitment. Now when it translate into what you really love, you just bring those aspects that you already learned from a young age into what you love to do and who you want to be. So it came a long way. You know, there's a saying, you know, jack of all trades but master of none. Since you sing, dance, and also do martial arts, do you ever find it difficult to kind of juggle everything, like, and on top of like having a normal life?
That's a great question.
or is this like your life now?
I feel like this is a part of my life. Like martial arts, we say this in Kung Fu, like it becomes a way of life, right? And I feel like with music and dance, it has become a way of life, right? Like that's who you are. It's not what you're pursuing. It's not what you're aspiring to do. You're doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it. You are an artist. Yeah. You are a dancer. You are a recording artist. You are what you are doing, right? So I feel like it has become like a way of life.
That's dope because like, you know, I didn't really, for me personally, I didn't really think of like manifestation like until we finally moved to LA.
Yeah,
and then I was like, okay, like if I think I could be that person, then I could actually do it. Yeah. And it really gave me that confidence once I actually moved here away from my parents and really focused on myself. So now that we live here, I'm like, wow, like I could actually do
anything
the things.
Is possible.
Yeah, and that's it saying anything is possible. So yeah, I could definitely see where that foundation from you when it came from martial arts correlated into the rest part of your life, because you know that's a version of manifestation.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Yeah. So like you had a great foundation and look where you are now. You know, it's only up from here.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
So being multi-talented, you know, it's a blessing, but it's also comes with a lot of struggles too sometimes. You know, what are some of the obstacles you had to overcome to be the person like who you are now?
Oh man, let's see. I think you mentioned it before. Just being an Asian American in the industry, it's tough, and I feel like it's still kind of new. When people see it, they're like, "Oh, this is not like the normal, right?" But that's why we're here. We're trying to make that a norm. And you said the word possible, and when you said that, that made me think like we're here to show them what is possible, right? So yeah, that, and then also I feel like I've experienced ageism in this industry, whether it be being too young or too old, and I feel like that has been a part of my journey too. And I think appearance. I feel like like this industry is so
with social media too,
right? Especially being in LA,
so I feel like being comfortable with who I am and what I look like, and even like something as shallow as like my skin, right? Growing up I had like really bad acne and just like really problematic skin.
That's crazy. You have clear skin now.
Oh, hey, I used to be there too. I used to be there as well.
I would have never thought.
Thank you so much. But yeah, like I had a pimple over here and you could see it, but it's like the hyperpigmentation. But like people can relate to that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, no need to like, no need to like cover it up anymore. Like be comfortable with who you are, and someone will identify, and like you're not alone, right? So I feel like just being able to figure out who I was, who I wanted to be as an artist, despite what anyone else was saying, despite what I thought I should have been, like that was probably one of the more recent struggles of like, who am I as an artist? Who do I want to be, and who do I want to put myself out there as authentically as possible.
And that's dope, because like that's what it takes to be a leader in the Asian community, but also a leader in your own Filipino culture, because you have to be strong, and you have to accept who you are, and you have to also represent, you know, your people as well. So you can't be ashamed of your color or like you know what your culture represents. You got to be upfront.
That's so real.
But there's always going to be some kind of growth, you know, like I feel like us as artists, we lean towards one thing and then we find another thing to lean towards, but like I said, it kind of collaborates. It's like a collaboration, like I said, I mean, I never thought for myself I would actually get into streaming at theme parks. I never once thought I would actually go to theme parks and stream. But guess what? Here we are. Me and my girlfriend are streaming at theme parks because it's fun. It's fun going to theme parks. It's fun talking to people on the live streams and stuff like that. But here I am. I'm an artist still. I'm a videographer. I'm a filmmaker. I work in the film industry. But you still have something like that kind of correlates into your artistry. So I feel like we all have some kind of different art form that correlates into what we're truly trying to, go and work towards,
but also who you are.
Exactly, who you are as a person. It does show who you are. Like, I mean, us streaming at theme parks just show I love going to theme parks. I love having fun and stuff like that. But, I even tell people on live stream, guys, like, I'm a filmmaker myself. I work in the film industry. This is what I truly do. But I love, it's like, even when you stream at theme parks, it's like you're a YouTuber too. So it's like, I love being a YouTuber on the side, and I think that's where a lot of artists is kind of also progressing to, is like being a YouTuber, because majority of artists upload their music videos onto YouTube. They're technically a YouTuber because all their music videos are there. And then, some have kind of converted into even doing sit down and talks and stuff like that. So it's like, who would have thought they would have gone from maybe like acting, singing, modeling to now sitting down on doing YouTube talks and stuff like that. So I feel us as artists are always moving towards something else, but it still correlates into our artistry. And I'm so happy to see like everybody growing in their artistry or outside of their artistry into something that they want to actually do, because I feel like when you're stuck in an artistry, some people don't want to be stuck there. They want to go out and grow out, and that's why, like, kind of going, I don't want to hate on, like, record labels and stuff like that, but, once you are locked down, they want you to have a certain image and a certain perspective. You can't even do exactly what you want anymore. And that's why, like I said, it's so nice actually seeing some of these artists that are big, like, let's say, who is it? There's so many artists out there that have been starting their YouTube channels, and it's just, like, I mean, like Kendall Jenner or some of them, like we all know them from famous TV shows and stuff like that, and but now they're on a YouTube platform. So like I said, it's really cool just seeing people kind of grow. And
Will Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith. Who would have thought Will Smith would start a YouTube channel?
Be a YouTuber when he's already at the pinnacle, of his career. Like, he doesn't need to do that. But because, he felt like he wanted to film the stuff that he like actually genuinely loves. A lot of people resonate with that, And he's just doing it because he loves it. It's not for the clout. It's not for money, he just feels like,
and that's why I'm saying, it's really cool seeing all the artists kind of just grow outside of their artistry and get into something that they truly love. And I'm not saying their artistry isn't something they truly love. They still love it, but it's growing. It's a part of your artistry. You got to experience new things and try new things out to see if that's what you actually love. And I even been seeing like, a lot of musicians and artists themselves just doing the things that they actually love outside of their artistry and what we know them as. So like I said, it's really cool just seeing all of us grow in a certain way where we can expand our artistry or how people see us, their perspective. Because like I said, when kind of like what we talked about earlier, the way people see us on social media, they're like, oh, they're so rich, they're so happy. Guys, this is not what it always looks like. Literally, we are regular people too. We're out here just grinding, working hard towards what we're trying to be successful on, and stuff like that. So, like I said, it's just, I think that also gives a lot of people insight on, they're just regular people. They love regular things. So, guys, if you're an artist, do shit that you actually love as well outside of your true artistry. To show people that it's not just about like being rich or famous. You got to show people that you're a regular person.
The realness.
The realness.
I feel like those avenues you get to show who you are as like the other side of you too, right?
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people just don't see that, and that's why I'm saying, like, use other platforms, go outside and do other shit that you love doing as a kid or whatever, and just show people that you're a true person outside of just being this famous person, So I'm gonna stop on that shit. It was
real.
Good. It was that little rant, But hey, it was a good talk, Angelo. We are actually coming to an end of our podcast.
Oh man,
you wanted to talk more, didn't you? No, like I said, thank you once again for coming on the show. It was really good to get to know you a lot better. Especially outside of your artistry, where you're from, your culture. Of course, we already know what that is, but. Once again, thank you for coming on the show. We do have a couple things we do love asking, though. Is like, what kind of advice would you actually give to an artist, a singer, songwriter, dancer, or martial artist, like, for that is coming up? Because Artistry Drop is all about inspiring the next generation.
Yes. Oh, man, where do I start?
Start where you need to.
it is not for the faint of heart.
Right.
Facts.
Keep going. Do not give up. And if you love to sing, sing forever. If you love to dance, dance forever. Whatever your art is, do that. Practice it. And just focus on your path. Focus on your lane. And do it as authentically as possible.
Facts.
Yeah.
Hey, that's amazing. That's
and I
amazing.
say that to myself too. Because
that's all you gotta say. Honestly, that's all you gotta say. I feel like that's already inspirational enough to certain people. You don't gotta go into a whole spiel like we kind of just did. Like literally, those words are gonna mean a lot to people listening or viewing this podcast.
Right. And it's
that.
up to the viewer, the listener, to interpret that like wherever way that fits themselves, because everyone is in their own path. And as much as we look at numbers and the content and views and stuff like that, like there's definitely a marketing strategy, but if you're not authentic within that realm, then people could call you out, and they could tell, and they don't resonate with fake, and you can only put up that front for so long. So I think when you mentioned being authentic is very important.
Very important. No, I love what you said. Are there any shout outs you would like to give to our viewers out there?
oh man, shout out to my family. I love my family.
Always.
Yes.
Let's see. Shout out to, I feel like I don't get to do this enough, but Music Rep for vocal training, all the studios in LA that I train at, for dance, Playground LA, 88 Studios. And to y'all, thank you for having me.
Of course,
thank you.
No, we love having you here.
Yeah, and for everyone tuning in, thank you.
No, like I said, this was a great talk. I think we got it. We dug into a lot, especially about culture. Because culture, I feel like for us, as like Asian Americans and especially Filipino Americans, it's very important because, like I said, I love bringing on Filipino artists. It's not spoken about enough. We're not at a certain point where we reach a pinnacle, where we've, gotten to that point where it's like, oh, he's Filipino. Like, nobody knows still. Joe Coy, that's it. Like, everybody knows Joe Coy. But I feel like we still have so much growth as Filipino Americans to get to the point where it's like Filipinos or Asian Americans is a normal thing here in America. We still have a lot of work to do, but that's where support comes into play. We all got to support each other.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Let's keep growing, and let's make it to the top.
Yes. And can I say something real quick?
Of course. Yeah,
you're Laos, right?
Yes.
Okay. I want to apologize for mistaking you for Filipino.
Oh, yeah.
And no. I want to say this too, because I feel like with Asians and Asian Americans, people can assume, right, that we are a certain thing. And I think it's important for us to speak up and say, actually, no, I'm Filipino or I am Laos, right? And I think that's just like that needs to be a part of the norm too. So I love that. You said something, right? And I think we need to like normalize that more. So
I felt the same way too, because I grew up with so many Filipino people like who were I didn't know that many Lao or Thai people. Everyone's Thai, but nobody's Lao. So it's definitely a hidden subculture race, that
it's a hidden gem.
It's a hidden gem.
But you're here.
Yes.
You're here.
But I'm here. So like, really gaining that confidence and really saying like, no, I am Lao. And a lot of people, especially who aren't Asian, are like, oh, what's Lao? And then I have to explain it. It's kind of like Thai. We're right next to Thailand, and then so just bringing that awareness. So I really
it
appreciate
opens up that conversation.
No, I definitely appreciate that too, because a lot of people literally think he's Filipino.
Oh yeah, like me.
No, literally.
And I know more Tagalog than my own, language, Laotian. So I do consider myself like
Filipino by association.
Exactly. No, exactly. And like I said, no worries, because literally every Filipino we brought on here thought he was Filipino.
I mean, I am dark too.
Yeah, he's dark too. So no worries.
No,
well, we're gonna give you a chance to also shout out where we can find you on social media.
Angelo Vivo, Angelo. I don't know how to spell my name today. ANGELOVIVO. And that's just on Instagram, TikTok. I'm on Twitter.
Spotify.
Use Twitter. Spotify.
And we're gonna link all of his social media in the description box below anyways, guys. But Angelo, thank you again for coming on the show. We really appreciate you coming on here. We had fun getting to know you a lot more and, you know, talking about culture because, like we said, it's very important, especially for our culture and what we are specifically. This is how we're all going to support each other in growth. Growth is very important when it comes to the Asian community or Filipino community. And like I said, I'm so happy to bring on any kind of Asian, you know, race or ethnicity, especially in the industry. You know, so guys, if you are Asian American out there, Filipino American, it doesn't matter what it is. Let's just keep supporting each other. Let's keep the growth going. And hey, let's hit that pinnacle and let's all get famous.
And make that money.
Yeah, make that money. All right, guys. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, it's Artistry Drop. If you're not following us on Instagram, you can find us at the Artistry Drop. And if you prefer just listening, you can stream all our episodes on all major podcast platforms. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.